Hey, ladies. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I'm so excited, ladies. Today we are here with career coach Marcy. I'm so excited because a lot of people recently have been, resigning from their jobs and they're shifting right into new career field. And we have career coach Marcy who's going to give us some strategies and tips on how to navigate this new world that we're living in. Happy Saturday, Shamika. So, career coach Marcy, can you say hi to the ladies and can you let us know more about yourself and what it is that you do?
Sure. Well, my name is Coach Marcy, and I am a career coach, and I help my clients find the career that they absolutely would love to do for the salary that they deserve. So I love helping people really pull together everything that they can think of that they really enjoy. And with the help of strength finders and also using DISC assessments, I help employees and candidates determine the direction they really should go in their careers. Because a lot of times we follow what our parents say we should do, and we go to the school they say to go to, we take up the major they say to take up, only to find out that's not what we really love. So I'm all for helping my clients determine, hey, what is it that I really want to do so that I can help them get to that point and earn awesome money while doing what they love.
Yes, I love that. And I love that you said that, right? So for me, I've had a lot of different career opportunities because of what I was taught. I was taught to go to school, get a good job, and everything was going to be okay. But that wasn't the case for me. I struggled a lot in corporate America and hence why I became an entrepreneur. So, can you tell us about knowing our self-worth in corporate America? Can you tell us what does that mean to you, knowing your self-worth?
Oof. Wow. So knowing your self-worth in corporate America means that you understand exactly what you're worth based on your geographic region, your education, your life experience, the job title, and also just basically how you feel about that role. So if you're not passionate about it, it's no need to even try and figure out what your worth is for it, because honestly, who wants to spend time in a career that's not what they really want to do? So by that I mean me being in human resources, that is truly my passion. And for me to say, well, if I live in Georgia and I have 32 years of experience, plus I have a master's degree in human resources, that's several years of education. What is my worth in my region? And what is my worth compared to the full state? What about the outskirts as well? Because sometimes we can actually relocate and earn a great salary as well. So, those are the types of things I like to think of when I think of self worth. But don't forget, you can negotiate benefits, you can negotiate money, you can negotiate travel expenses, you can negotiate whether you get a free office set up at home. Those are things that are still within your reach, and that's part of self worth. And don't forget your gym membership. Don't forget your massage, your foot massager, which I have one right under my desk. I have a office heater. I have all of the things that I would normally have if I were in the workplace. So add a little bit more because you also have to have your ergonomics for your pads for your laptop and also a great chair to sit in. So those are all negotiables. So that is part of what I think of when I think self-worth.
Right. So, how do we negotiate that, right? I know I made my mistakes in corporate America, and I think I negotiated maybe one salary, and it was still not the best, right? So, how do we negotiate those things that we want after we've done the market research and we've seen, okay, this is what the salary is in this area, and we want to add more? How do we negotiate?
We basically speak with our recruiter or hiring manager, whichever of the two you're speaking to, and you ask them, is there something that we can do by way of office furniture? I'd love to be able to work for the organization. And I understand that we're hybrid. So if we're in the office 2 days a week, but we're home three, right now, I don't really have the setup really needed for this. Is there maybe a stipend, or would you guys be willing to go ahead and fund to ship the furniture to my home to include a L-shaped desk, a chair, a foot pad, and also ergonomic rest for my hands, as well as a riser on the opposite side of the desk with a monitor for my laptop? Those are things that all come in handy. And most organizations will pay for a portion of it. They may give you half, let's say. Some companies are even helping chip in for the electric bill, because not only are they using your Wi-Fi, but your Wi-Fi is eating up all of your electricity. Like my electric bill is very high because I'm running on all my computer stuff all day, all day. So imagine the heat runs all day now because it's kind of cold. Instead, it used to just turn on at 5 p.m. when I knew everybody would start coming home. But everything's just running, running, running. These are things you can negotiate. And don't forget, if you take public transportation, negotiate a commuter pass. Negotiate that they give you a stipend to come to work. Granted, they give you a salary, and I understand that. But wouldn't it be great to not have to pay to board the bus or the train and just have a pass? That would help.
Yeah, I know for me, I was working in corporate America at this company, and everything went remote. And I asked, I was like, well, will there be a utility stipend? And then they said, well, you're saving on gas and you're saving on car insurance. So sometimes
See?
you negotiate, you don't get what you want, right? So how do you overcome those objectives that they're throwing at?
Right. They're going to always have an objection, because if they give to you, they feel that they have to give to everyone else. Now, here's the secret: they don't. They already have their favorites, and they're already giving different salaries for the same exact work. So, why can't they give you those things? So, if they're not going to give it to you in one place, you ask for it in another. Considering I'm working from home, and you're calling meetings 30 minutes before I end my day, or even an hour before I start my day, I would like to be able to have, in lieu of that time, additional hours of PTO. That's negotiable. I negotiate. I'm on online Wednesdays an hour and a half before my scheduled shift, because they have a meeting at that time of morning. I get that hour and a half back any given day that I want to have it back. So I negotiate that time. It's important to understand that your time is valuable. Your work life balance is very, very important. So if they say they can't give it to you in PTO, they have to give it to you somewhere else. Has to be a wellness plan that pays for you to go use the gym. It has to be somewhere. And these are all things they can pay for: a buddy pass for you to be able to go to a gym 3 days a week easily. And there are different programs that you can actually reach out to HR and say, hey, can you help me with this? I'd love to be able to help have this offered to the whole organization. Maybe we can do it by way of Zoom, even. Like, we have yoga and we have high intensity training all on Zoom, all on Zoom. And it doesn't cost us a penny. Let the company pay for the instructor and pay for his Zoom account. That's it. You pay the instructor for his hour and pay for his Zoom account, and that covers it. And he does it 3 days a week.
Oh wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Because health is the new wealth, right? So
that's
one of the
right.
things I want to know is, during this transition, right, that we're having, it's a huge shift that's going on in the workplace, right? And a lot of women are transitioning career fields, right? So how do they navigate that with little to no experience, right? Like, where do they start? Because
Well,
everybody is starting over.
right. So if you don't really have a lot of experience in anything, the one thing I always suggest to everyone is, don't forget that there are websites that provide training for very low cost or even free. So LinkedIn Learning is my number one go-to. LinkedIn Learning, because you're going to learn how to do all of the new things that some people already know how to do, that maybe if you've been in your career and worked a long time in the same career, you may need to brush up on. So, for instance, Microsoft Office has tons of different applications, but maybe you don't use PowerPoint because you didn't do presentations before. You can go ahead and take that on LinkedIn Learning, or actually take all of Microsoft Office applications and get a certificate. And that's all for free. And then there's also Udemy. There is also Harvard. There's also Cornell. All of them offer very low cost trainings, but Google is my favorite one. For people that are in IT, oh man, you can get so much from Google. For $49, you can get a certification and you will stay in that course. They're going to train you. They have recordings. They also have a lot of live sessions as well, and you can become certified, and before you know it, you're able to work on Google applications and secure employment at Google.
Wow. So yeah, just finding a new skill set, right? And educating yourself on that new skill set. I love how you say LinkedIn Learn and Google. Like you guys, I hope y'all taking notes on this. She's dropping some real gems right now, right? And another problem I know that women are having right now is in recruiting, right? Is interviewing, right? So interview preparation, right? So can you give us 3 tips and advice when going to an interview?
Ooh, the first thing you want to think about, if it's in person, you want to dress professionally. No matter what the position is for, dress professionally. And I'll give you an example. When you interview with a tech company who has nothing but casual wear, everyone that you look at on the website when you research the company is in jeans and a shirt and sneakers. Every single picture you look in, you're going to dress professionally. Put on a beautiful sheath dress with a blazer and show up and show out. And make sure you're dressed professionally. You have a dress that is lower than your kneecap so that when you sit, it only comes right above the knee. If it's already above the knee, when you sit down, it's going to raise up very high. So be mindful of that. Next, I would also say make sure you study the company. You need to
Mhm.
know everything about the organization and also who you're interviewing with so that you can have a conversation with them about themselves. People at interview love to hear that you actually know something about them. So you may mention, so wow, yeah, that is great. I understand you went to the University of Kentucky. How did you like it there? Oh my goodness, it must have been great because I know they have an awesome campus. And when you take it to that direction, it calms you down some because now you're asking the questions. And lastly, make sure that you have researched the position well enough to understand everything that's required, that you meet the requirements, and that you're absolutely excited when you get to the interview to discuss how you're going to help the organization become even greater by talking about those skill sets that you're going to bring that meet the responsibilities that they have outlined in the position. So those are my top 3 go-tos.
Yes, I love it. Get us ready, Coach Marcy. So now one of the things that is really concerning, right, is that everybody's been working from home, right? And now they're telling people to go back into the workplace. From an HR standpoint, what does that look like for you guys?
Well, what it looks like for us is finding where we're going to have everyone actually sit. Because, contrary to everyone's belief, most organizations have overhired to prepare for those that are actually going to just resign. And with that said, where will everyone sit when we have to go back to the office? What is it going to look like? What is sanitation going to be in the office space? So when we did not think about who's going to clean the desks, the phones, the carpets, the filters, everything, the elevators, the buttons, the restrooms, all of those things were clean before, but not to the way we would expect it to be clean now, considering we're coming back into the office after a pandemic. So we have a lot to consider. And every time we think about it, we have to also consider badging into the building for security purposes. So if you work in a large office building, they have to know every person that's in the building in the event of a fire drill or a real fire. How will they know that if you don't badge in and out of the building? 90% of the employees right now don't have badges because they may not have worked in the company back when we were working in the office. So that's another thing you have to consider. It's just so many different things that you have to think to yourself, do we really want to go back? How successful have we been working remote? And if we've been even more successful working remote, maybe it's the best thing for us to do.
Yeah, and that's a decision between the company and the employee and them coming together on that, right?
Right.
So, can you tell us, Coach Marcy, more about the services that you offer women who are transitioning their careers?
Sure. So I offer a 6 week accelerated career coaching program called Career Maven Academy, and that's going to help you from A to Z. Everything from filling out the application, submitting your resume, and filling out the application online as well without saying see resume, and also doing your cover letter. We're also doing mock interviews as well as all interview prep questions that come to mind that you know that when they ask you, you kind of just freeze. So we're doing that as well. We also do salary negotiation skills, social media cleanup, and so many more things to go over, up to and including even background screenings, thank you letters, follow up letters, how you're going to send emails to individuals when you're connecting with them on social media, because you need to make sure you optimize your LinkedIn as well. So I offer all of those services packaged into my program, but I also have done for you services where you can actually purchase a resume, a cover letter, a follow up letter, or even a thank you letter, as well as my newest addition, which is my frequently asked interview questions and answers. So I have that available now for purchase. And right now, what I'm doing is collecting for my wait list so that once I actually start shipment, I'm going to start bulk shipping and sending them out as they're ordered. But everyone can jump on that wait list now. And it's absolutely amazing. It's
Yeah.
crazy that I even thought to myself, you know something, I'm going to go ahead and create that for everyone. But it's available now for you to go ahead and join the wait list.
Wow, Marcy, that's amazing. You offer so much value, right? You helping people negotiate their salaries, right? You helping them with cleaning up their social media because a lot of people don't know that these HR departments are looking at your social media. They are scrolling through your social media to find out who you are, right? And then you're going to give them the frequently asked questions through an interview.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I know for me, when I first started working, when I went into corporate America and they said, so tell me about yourself. Mm, that's the worst question you could ask someone that's just breaking into the workforce, because they don't know how to answer that question. That's the most scariest question to answer. And 99% of people answer it wrong. They just do. They talk about everything about themselves and nothing about what they can bring to the company. So when they do that, the interviewer is sitting back, they cross their leg, and they kind of talking about self does not add value. They're taking those notes and writing it down just as you're continuing to talk about yourself. And then there's the silent moment where immediately when you answer a question, they sit and they just sit silent. And what do when we don't know? We continue rambling on because we think they want more. No, they want to see if we're going to be silly enough to answer and give more. Don't give more. Don't give more, people. Just don't do it.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Coach Marcy, today for all these tips. Is there anything else you want to leave the ladies with about knowing their self-worth, negotiating in the job market right now? Anything else you want to leave the ladies?
Ooh, I don't believe you said that one. So let me be 100% honest with you. And right now, I'm going to say the one thing I want to leave with you is make sure you guys check me out on Instagram at Career Coach Marcy. I'm also on LinkedIn as Career Coach Marcy and also on Facebook. But the biggest takeaway is I do offer resume review for free. I also offer 1 free hour of career coaching with resume review only. So please, ladies, go ahead and send those to me via email at coachmarcy@coachmarcy.net. Again, that's coachmarcy@coachmarcy.net. Please take advantage of this because a lot of us don't realize the direction that we're going right now, or we think that we're okay. And what can happen really quickly is you come to learn that it just takes one incident for you to not feel valued. And when that happens, you really need to feel empowered to be able to make a move. Not a hasty move where you just say, I quit, but a move quick enough for them to understand that you're not the person that deserves to be treated that way. That's the biggest one that I have for everyone.
Yeah, and position yourself as a person empowered, right? It's just repositioning yourself. So you guys make sure after this, I'm going to drop all of Career Coach Marcy's link. It's important even for her to just look at your resume because you may not know why people aren't returning your calls, why they're not emailing you and you're sending out 1,000 resumes a day. Maybe it's something that needs to be updated, right? Or worded different, right? On your resume. Or maybe you even, like Career Coach Marcy said, need to take a class, maybe $49, $50 on Google, right? To update your skill set because right now it's a very competitive market, right? So you guys have a great night and thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Career Coach Marcy, and we will have you on again.
Thank you so
Bye,
much for
ladies.
having me. Bye bye. And thank you for watching, ladies.